Órale, los tres chingones boxing. What's going on? It's not Friday. We'll get to that in just a second, man. Let me bring in mi hermano, el gran chingón, el mero mero one, Mr. David Contreras.
Hey, brother, thank you very much for the invite. My voice is gone. I've been a little sick lately, but when you sent me this text, man, I couldn't wait to come on so we could talk about what we love to talk about boxing, brother. Gracias. Listo.
Yeah, you could tell your voice is a little out there, David.
Boxing is boxing, though, right?
So, I'll just explain a little bit what's going on. I won't be able to be here for Friday. Tomorrow morning, which is gonna be Friday morning, I'm jumping on a cruise to Ensenada. So I won't be able to jump on here. I can't depend on the Wi-Fi on the cruise. David, you've been on a cruise before, correct?
Oh, yeah, I just got back from one about a month ago. Yes.
How is it?
You know what? It was nice. We went to the Bahamas. We were gone for a week. And believe it or not, we got back Saturday and we hadn't had COVID, my wife and I, during the COVID scare. Never got it. We jumped off the boat on a Saturday. Sunday morning, we both tested positive. Friends that also went, they all tested positive. Half of the ship got COVID. So nomás ponte trucha, you know what I mean? They're never going to tell you that. We went through Princess. I contacted them. They denied it. Oh, no, nobody got COVID. Dude, I know a lot of people that got it. So, nomás ponte trucha. I mean, just wash your hands at all times. And I worked out every day at the gym, and I think that's where I probably got it because I usually wear gloves when I work out here. Over there, I was going barehanded, touching my face or whatever. That's probably where I got it. So, I mean, just be aware, wash your hands whenever you can.
Well, you know what? Like Crucito said, I might have to wear a pinche rabbit's foot for good luck, So.
No, ¿sabes qué? Wear a Valverde. Wear a Valverde. They'll protect you in Mexico.
There you go.
Mexico.
There you go, man. You know what? Shout outs to everybody who on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Shout outs to all the chingones and chingonas. Can't forget about our beautiful chingonas out there.
Yeah.
So, let's just get right into it. I don't know if Mike's going to join us or not, but we're here a day early. Man, a lot's been going on in the boxing world. This past week, it was kind of a off week for boxing. Nothing really major going on. Going into this week, we had two pretty big fights. Now it's just down to one big fight. Or I don't know if I should say big fight, but a very good, interesting fight. I guess we'll start with the big news, David. The major breaking news that happened is that Conor Benn tested positive on the A testing. They haven't got the B results back, but it looked like the fight was still gonna happen. It looked like they're still gonna push forward with the fight. It came out today that fight is. I keep seeing postponed, then I hear cancellation. I don't know which one to believe. Either way, the fight is not going to happen. David, you were on Los Tres Chingones Boxing en Español last night.
Yes.
Con el campeón Vasquez, and you guys were talking about it. What's your thoughts now that with this new news that the fight is either postponed or canceled? I'm not really sure which one to believe, but it's not happening.
I think it's postponed until this gets cleared up. But I'm glad. They should have postponed it. I think Eddie Hearn waited to the last second and probably tried to pay somebody off to allow the fight to happen. The way I see it, VADA was the secondary testing machine that came in, and they tested him positive. The first mechanism that they used to test was a company out of Britain or out of Europe that did not show the positive. But VADA came in, showed positive on September 1st. He took it. September 23rd, they said It tested positive. They submitted the second one, which is the B, A, and B. B hasn't responded yet, but since it came back positive, there was no way that they were going to allow it. As of last night, they were going to. And so the newspaper in England, in London, had a huge article this morning about the corruption because that fight shouldn't have happened. When it hit this morning, I don't know if you knew this or not. When it hit this morning, that's when Eddie Hearn and everybody goes, okay, we're canceling the fight, until he tests positive or whatever, because the media, the London Tribune or the London newspaper, made a huge deal about it. If they wouldn't have done it, we would have had the fight. But they basically exposed the corruption in boxing.
Okay. Man, so this fight was already a little bit weird. I think everybody can admit that this fight's kind of off. Chris Eubanks Jr. 160, Conor Benn 147. This fight was made kind of like that,
Yes.
As I heard that there was talks about it, and then I was like the next day, it's like, oh man, looks like it's really gonna happen. Like the day after that, like, hey, the fight's made. Like, wow. Like,
Yeah.
it was made fast, right? What's up, James Ortega? So look, it's no secret. I'm a fan of Conor Benn. I am. This hurts, man.
Yeah.
This hurts. I'm like a little kid that saw his hero, steal something from sport.
Yeah.
There's an episode of The Simpsons where Krusty the Clown gets framed for robbing the Quickie Mart, and Bart Simpson, his heart's broken because he thinks that was Krusty. That's me right now, dude. Everybody is talking about this fight.
Yeah.
What about talk about me? Talk about my crushed heart, man. That's what everybody needs to talk about because I was a really big fan. Here, I'm like this right now. I'm like this.
What about me? What about me? I know you don't give a goddamn about me.
Yeah. That's me right now. Damn it, Ben. And I talk so big on Conor Benn. And I still think he's a good fighter. I still think he's a great fighter. There's rumors, David, that there's been positive tests before, and they've kind of been hush hush and swept under the rug. Those are rumors. Hey, I'm just saying what I heard. Okay, those are just rumors that there might be positive tests from before. I don't know. But here he gets popped. Look, as much as weird as this fight was, for one reason or another, I kind of wanted to see it. I was hoping it materialized. Yeah, and I was like, okay, you know what, man? Some people are kind of dogging on this fight, but ¿sabes qué, Holmes? I do want to watch this. I am interested. I do want to see this. So now that it's not happening, and by the way, 48 hours, even less than that, because it's UK time, that the fight's postponed or canceled or lo que sea. I'm a little bit pissed off. And I'm a little bit pissed off at Conor Benn. There's people that are mad at Eddie Hearn. Because it seemed like he was still trying to push this fight to happen. To me, Chris Eubanks Jr. said that he's down with the fight. I think some fighters need to be protected from themselves. What's a fighter supposed to say? No, I don't want to fight now. I think pride gets in the way. And it should. You're a prideful guy. You're a fighter. But if you were in Chris Eubanks Jr. corner, David, and they came up to you and said, like, hey, listen, we could go on with the fight, or we could postpone it or cancel it. It's your fighter. What do you want to do?
You know what? I know you're a big fan. Excuse my voice. I know it sounds staticky, but my voice is almost gone. But I know you're a big Conor Benn fan.
Mm.
I had I had Chris Eubanks winning this fight.
Oh,
If I was going to bet some money, I
mhm.
would have betted on Chris Eubanks. The guy's, I think, is 34-2. The only two losses he has is against Groves, who's a good fighter, and against what's his name, Billy Joe Sanders.
Mm,
Those were the only two losses. This guy fights at 160. All he had to go down was 3 pounds. They were fighting at 157.
yes.
Okay, this other guy, Connor Ben, has to go up 10 pounds.
Mhm.
He's not going to be the same fighter. He's not going to be as quick as he was at 147. This guy, what's 3 pounds? You know what I mean? So I personally, I had Chris winning that fight. I wanted to see Connor Ben fight this guy. It would have been a great fight, and I'm still looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a great fight. I think it's going to happen. I mean, Canelo got caught eating tacos. You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
he made a mistake. He made a mistake, but it's going to happen. They're probably going to suspend him for 6 months, like they did with Canelo, whatever they did, 6 months or whatever, and then he'll be back. I hope they have this fight again. I want to see that fight.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be a great fight. It's going to be a slugfest. I think it's going to be a great fight, and I want to see it. They're going to have it in 6 months. He'll get a 6 month suspension.
Yeah. Jan Ortega says he was found not guilty because of his feet. Oh, he's talking about Krusty the Clown and The Simpsons. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. His feet were too small. Sideshow Bob's feet were big. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Um, you know what? You know what sucks about all this is that Connor Ben had he had momentum.
yeah.
His career was growing, and people were starting to notice him over here on this side of the world. And this is just going to put a stop to it. And the problem with this is that this takes a long time for it to be forgotten, right? Especially if you got haters. The haters they will never let it go. They're always, regardless of anything, every fight, you're always going to be a cheater. You will always forever be a cheater. Um, he's got the vato he fought before. Ah, shoot, se me olvidó his name. He's coming out and he's saying, I think he cheated,
Yeah.
when he beat me.
Well, he
I don't
fought.
know. Is he,
Yeah. He fought
does he have a
Chris
case?
Algieri. Yeah, he fought Chris Algieri, and
Ah,
he knocked out Chris Algieri like in the third or fourth round.
mm,
Before that, he fought that other guy. What's his name? A very good fighter, and he knocked him out. Look at his body structure. I mean, he looks like a bodybuilder. You know what I mean? Brother, I mean, you've been lifting all your life. I've been lifting all my life. And I've lifted with guys that use steroids. And
mm.
I will never, ever look like them, no matter how much I lift, no matter what I do, because that does definitely define you. Look at his pictures. I mean, that dude
Okay.
has muscles where you're not supposed to have. You know what I mean? So, I mean, that tells you a lot, you know?
Do you look at that, David? Like okay, so should we be suspect of Anthony Joshua? I mean, his body, his physique is top
No,
notch.
no, yeah, but Anthony Joshua, you could tell with him that it's defined definition. This other guy has veins. Anthony Joshua doesn't have veins.
Mm,
Anthony, that's one thing that Debo or certain steroids does, that it makes your veins pop out. You know what I mean? You'll see that with these dudes. And then their foreheads will start growing. And with Anthony Joshua, you don't see veins. You see muscle definition. And I've seen that. But when you see the veins like you have with him, that should be an indicator. You know what? There's something not right. And it might be. I mean, what he was taking wasn't steroids. It was more of a testosterone push, which is also part of steroids too, I
okay.
guess. Yeah.
It's funny that you said that forehead grows
Oh
because I
yeah.
remember accusations.
Mhm.
Certain people were saying that Juan Manuel Marquez looked like
Mhm.
he had a big forehead when he fought Pacquiao for the fourth time and knocked him out.
Well, he was drinking his own pee. Remember?
That no, but that wasn't that fight. I don't think
No,
that.
I
I
know,
don't
I
think
know.
that was that fight though.
No, I know. But I
I,
mean, I'm just telling
yeah.
you, you know, who drinks their own pee?
Something was working for him, but no, you know what, it sucks, and I don't even know who was in the undercard. I didn't really look into that, but I gotta say, man, everybody gets affected when something like this happens. You know,
The money.
all the fighters in the undercard, and this was a huge fight in the UK.
Yes.
Maybe not so much here, but in the UK, this was huge. And you know, all the fighters in the undercard, they're all affected by it now. Now their time to shine is done, and they got to go find something else. And
Yeah.
it sucks because one guy that I was a fan of. I want to go ahead and say this. I will still be a fan of Conor Ben, but he's got to get out of this. He's got to get out of this. He's got to come back. If he's suspended for 6 months, orale, you know, take your suspension, um, come back and test negative. I'm not one of these guys that because you tested positive once, now for me, you will forever be a cheat. Now every single fight going forward, you're just cheating. Nah, I don't roll like that. If you
Yeah.
test negative, you test negative, right?
Yeah.
So if you do test positive, and like I said, there is a few rumors that he had test positive before, but for one reason or another, it's been all hush hush.
It could be. Could be. I mean,
That could
yeah.
be, and if that's the case, then Conor Ben is bad for boxing. I
Yeah.
will say it. If that is the case, I'm a big fan of Conor Ben. I love Conor Ben, but if that is the case, then he is bad for boxing and he needs to be banned. If that is the case,
But you know what, Ed? I mean, there's a reason why he hasn't fought in America. In America, everybody uses VADA. In Britain, they don't use VADA. Only certain individuals will use it. How long has he been fighting without VADA? This other, English company
mm,
could have been. I mean, he didn't test positive there, but he tested positive with VADA. So by him coming to America, he would have to be under VADA rules. You know what I mean?
mm,
So maybe that's the reason why he hasn't fought in America. I mean, we could speculate all we want, but you know what? They're fighting at the O2 Arena. For whatever reason, I thought O2 Arena had over 100,000 seats, but no, it only has 20,000. So, but they're going to lose a lot of money because, like you said, a lot of money was invested in this fight. So now it's not. But I think it's just postponed. It'll happen again in about 6 months after he gets slapped.
that's why I think Eddie Hearn was like, "No, we got to make this
Oh,
fight happen." There's a lot of feria right here, Holmes. We
yeah,
can't let this puppy go. There's a lot of money. All the
yeah,
build up. I was watching everything, David. I was
yeah.
watching all the build up, the face to
Oh,
faces that
yeah,
they were having, their training and
yeah,
everything. Here we are, man. Less than 48 hours of the fight, man. Boom, gone.
yeah.
And hey, what's up? Let's see, Jam Ortega. Marquez trainer was caught in steroids. I'm not saying Marquez used, but they were rumors. Yeah, what's up? Box Talk 101. His
Saludos. Órale.
conditioning. Oh, his conditioning trainer. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I remember hearing those
Yeah,
rumors. I remember people saying, like, hey, his head was big for that last Pacquiao fight when he knocked
yeah.
him out. But well, you know what, man? We will wait and see. Again, am I still a fan of Conor Ben? Yes, but he's got to get out of this. Another mamada like this, and I'm off the Conor Ben train and ban him from boxing. We don't need him in
Yeah.
boxing if all this is going to be taking place, and if some way somehow there's an investigation and it shows that he has been caught before in previous fights, which those are rumors, and for one reason or another, they just swept it under the rug. Again, pa fuera, homie. We don't need you in boxing, dog. So, damn, this sucks because I really loved Conor Ben. I really loved his fighting style. I always look forward to his fights. I was looking forward to this fight. I was looking forward to what he was going to do at 147. Him getting in there eventually against somebody like Boots Ennis or one of the top dogs, Terrence Crawford or Virgil Ortiz. I was really looking forward to that, man. But
Yeah.
you know what? Hey, Conor Ben, homie, you shot yourself in your own foot, and I don't know. I'm sure the team has, the team has something to do with it too. So, well, fight's not happening, but it does leave a fight that is happening, David, and it's happening in Carson,
Yes.
California. Now, for those who for those that have never been to that stadium, it used to be called StubHub. First of all, years ago, it used to be called the Home Depot Center. Then it changed to StubHub. Now it's called Dignity Health Sports Park. Um, that is the best place to watch a fight,
Yeah.
bar none. I haven't been everywhere, but I don't have to. That is the best place to watch a fight. It's outdoors. You could stand on the very, very top, and it's almost like you're like ringside. It is a great place to watch a fight. I've seen some killer fights right there. Uh, man, I quite a few. Timothy Bradley, Ruslan Provannikov, man. Man, Bam Bam Rios versus damn homeboy from Denver. What was his name?
Alvarado.
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 Yes, I was there, man. We've seen some just great fights at that arena, which is outdoors. So tomorrow we got Sebastian Pandora against Carlos Acampo. David, your thoughts on this fight?
Well, first of all, every bar, if you're out, you're going to be in Ensenada on Saturday.
Yeah, Acampo's territory.
You know what? El Chema is from Ensenada. So every bar you're going to go to is going to have the fight.
Mm.
Everybody in the city is going to be watching that fight. You know what? It's going to be a great fight. Ocampo only has one loss. I think he's 24-1, and the one loss was against Errol Spence. It was a first round knockout, but he's a big boy. He's been fighting at 154 for several fights now. So he's comfortable, and he's a good puncher. I mean, he's a good fighter. So I see this being another Lupin versus Fondora. It's going to be an inside fight, and it's going to be a phone booth fight, and it's going to be a great fight. It's going to be a good fight. It's not going to be an easy fight for Fondora. I want Fondora to win, but it's not going to be an easy fight.
Yeah, man, that Erickson Lubin against
It was a great fight.
Fandura, that was a great fight, but man, Lubin's face was just it was hard to watch, man. His face
Yeah,
looked broken in all different places.
yeah,
Um, I agree, David. I think this is gonna be a great fight. I hope we touch down in Ensenada by then, so I
uh,
could go to one of the local bars and
oh,
watch it.
yes,
Yeah. He's an Ensenada boy, man. I
exactly.
would love to be in Ensenada just to be in the atmosphere and,
Oh,
and
yeah.
see everything that's going on.
It'll be a good
But
fight.
I am gonna be rooting for Sebastian Pandora.
Yeah.
Um, he is just tall, David.
Oh, he's a good fighter too. Yeah,
He is just very,
yeah.
very tall. I forgot what he is, 6'5" or 6'6" or
He's 6'5".
yeah, something like that at 154 pounds. I think Acampo is really gonna have to destroy the body.
Yeah,
Even the arms, the elbows, the arms, destroy those suckers.
yeah,
And I think he can. I think
yeah.
he can beat Fandora. I do believe he can beat him. Does he beat him? I'm favoring Fandora.
Me
I
too.
am. But
Yeah,
Acampo can really take it to him. And I
yeah.
think you're right. I didn't look up the record, but I think Acampo only has one loss
One
against
loss. Errol Spence.
Errol Spence Jr.
Yeah,
Yeah. So this is gonna be a good one.
yeah,
You know, with fights like this, I always try to tell true boxing fans, true boxing enthusiasts, I usually try to tell them, like, hey, you know what? Listen, tell people about this fight. Okay. It's up to us to let people, the casual boxing fans, know. Casual boxing fans that don't know who Carlos Acampo is, casual boxing fans that don't know who Sebastian Fandora is, tell them about this fight. Tell them to watch this fight, because this is going to be one heck of a fight. And David, who do you think wins and how and why?
You know what? Before I answer that, I'm looking at the card. It's going to be a good card. You got Carlos Adames, the heavyweight, versus Juan Maciel Montiel. It's going to be okay. Fernando Martinez versus Jerwin Ancajas. That's going to be a great fight. Ejidkis Kavaluskas versus Michael Fox, 10 rounders, welterweight. That's going to be a good fight. Um, I'm looking at everybody else. Those are going to be the best fights. The first four fights on the zone are going to be all knockout fights. It's going to be great fights. I got Fundora winning by knockout, maybe in the 10th or 11th round. But I got it being a phone booth type of fight. It's going to be inside all night long, and it's just going to be a great fight. But
Okay.
the fight that I really want to see is this guy, Edjidikis Kavaluskas. I like the way he fights. The Russian, that's going to be a really good fight also.
Okay, real quick correction. This will be on Showtime, is it not?
No, yes, it's on Showtime.
Showtime. There's
Yeah,
Showtime. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, this is regular Showtime. And yeah, I'm looking at it now. Yeah, no, I mean you got some junior bantamweights and man, if I was not gonna be on this cruise, for those who don't know that just jumped in late, we're on here. I will not be here tomorrow. I'm gonna be on a cruise on my way down to Ensenada. And
Yeah.
but if I was not going on this cruise, David, I would definitely be at this fight.
Oh yeah, it's going to be a
I
good
would
fight.
definitely be at this fight. It's definitely worth it. So going back to the question, who wins, why, and how?
Fundora wins by knockout, 10th or 11th round.
Okay. I'm gonna say Pandora wins. Um, does he knock him out? Does he stop him? I'm gonna say it goes the distance.
Okay.
I'm gonna say it goes the distance. I say Acampo gets dropped. That yes, I say he gets dropped in the later rounds, and he gets up. I could also see Acampo winning. I really can, man.
Yeah.
I could even see a controversy in this fight. But I'm gonna go Pandora by decision. Um, maybe in a close fight where the next day everybody's gonna be talking about like, oh man, Acampo won. It's gonna be back and forth. It'll be a teeter totter.
Okay.
So I see that close and that good of a fight. Even though I'm predicting Acampo does get dropped, I
Yeah.
still think it's gonna be a very close fight, and some people are gonna have Acampo winning. But I got Pandora coming out with the victory with the decision. It's 154 pounds. We all know who's the top dog at 154. I don't think he ever gets that fight. I don't think he gets it. But with that, David, let's move on to a few other things, man. Okay, so one is the Crawford Spence. I heard you guys talking about it last night in Espanol, and I'm hearing the same thing you guys are hearing. Basically, all I'm really hearing is just Spence saying that fight is next. Not that it's going to happen for this year, but that fight is next.
Yeah.
David, are you standing strong that fight happens this year?
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm doing 100 push-ups every morning. I've been doing them all my life, but I'm still doing them. I still stand that it is going to happen, maybe December, and if not, maybe February. But it is going to happen, either December or February, but it is going to happen.
I'm going to go ahead and predict that this fight happens in February.
Yeah.
I think we're really running out of time. The source that we have, I'm starting to believe it more and more. I'm not ready to say I'm betting my house on it, but I'm starting to believe it more and more because it just like talks just
stopped.
Like just stop. Just stop, man. Like it was a runaway train. Like everybody's like, oh man, it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. And then it's just stop.
Yeah.
Nothing. Silence. Until now that I hear Spence's side saying that this fight is going to happen next. But he didn't say, I didn't hear this fight is gonna happen this year. So
Yeah.
those matadores in here, what's going on, brother? So I think this fight happens in February. In the month of January, you got the competition on Saturdays with the NFL playoffs. You know, you do this in February, it's wide open. Nobody's scheduling a fight from here to there. So I think they're mentally just logging that in, saying like, okay, we're gonna make this happen in February. And if it does happen in February, there was a whole talks of like, hey man, this fight doesn't happen this year, then it's over. I don't think it is. I think if it happens in February, everybody's still gonna be in it.
Of course. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, what's the real loss? I don't think there's an actual real loss there. Let it happen in February. It's gonna save me 100 push-ups.
Yeah. I'm ready.
That what was I looking at here? That man, I'll tell you, the week after the 15th, you got a lot going on. You got Deontay Wilder against Robert Helenius. That's pay-per-view, though. Clarissa Shields finally gets in the ring with Savannah Marshall. We got a lot of things coming up in the month of October, David, which is going to be some really, really good stuff. Nothing like huge, but a lot of great fights. Lomachenko makes his way in against Ortiz on the 29th. Yeah, Katie Taylor fights. Jake Paul. Let's talk about this one just real quick because I heard an interview with Jake Paul today. So I just want to spend a little bit of time on this. Jake Paul versus Anderson Silva is October 29th. David, your thoughts? What's up, Impala?
You know what? Like I said, I don't really follow him that much. ¿Qué pasó, Impala? I would go with Anderson Silva. I've never seen a Jake Paul fight. I've never seen a Anderson Silva fight. But based on what I'm reading, what I'm looking at, I mean, wasn't Anderson Silva the one that beat Julio Cesar Chavez Jr.?
Yes.
Yeah. So you know what? I would go with Anderson Silva, and I hope that he gives Jake Paul a boxing lesson. I mean, this guy Anderson Silva's a real deal, right? With MMA. I mean, the dude has fought everybody. It takes balls to go into a ring in MMA and boxing. So you know what? I want Anderson Silva to go in and teach his young man a boxing lesson.
Oh, man. You know what? Let's move on to the next subject. All I'm going to say is this. I'm rooting for Jake Paul.
Is he good? Is he that good? You think he?
No. Look. Okay, look. I'll say this. I think this is not that I think. I know this is his toughest challenge yet. The thing is, a lot of people don't like him, and that's understandable. Yeah, and that's understandable. It's not like the kid is some. You want your little kids, hey, look at him, look up to him. No, he's a little bit cocky and a little bit of a douchebag. I get it. People don't have to like him. But he's not a boxer. He's a YouTuber, right? So he's not fighting any boxers. However, he was scheduled to fight two boxers, one of them being Tyson Fury's younger brother, Tommy Fury.
Yeah.
That fight didn't materialize, but not because of Jake Paul. So he has tried to fight a few boxers, but he's got to sell. The pay-per-view has to sell. That's what people don't understand. It's like, hey, man, he's got to fight a real boxer. I don't care who it is, as long as it's a real boxer, even if he has a losing record. Well, I just want people to understand this. It's pay-per-view. So if he fights a real boxer that has a record of like 2 wins and 10 losses, nobody knows who that boxer is.
Yeah.
So that pay-per-view is not going to sell. So, he's drawn some interest with a boxer like Tommy Fury, who we can all say like, hey, that's Tyson Fury's brother. You know, there's a little bit of interest there. Not too many boxing aficionados really know who Tommy Fury is, but there's some, interest right there. He was gonna fight shoot, se me fue la onda.
Rockman.
Rockman. Okay. Some people know who he is, right? I mean, his dad and everything. And that fight didn't materialize. So he's kind of left to, again, I want everybody to understand he needs to sell these pay-per-views. So he just can't get Joe Schmo that has 1 win and 5 losses. Nobody knows who that guy is. That pay-per-view is not going to sell, even though that guy might even beat him. But he's got, so this Anderson Silva fight, I think it's a good one. I think it's worth watching. To tell everybody the truth, I think it's worth watching.
I'm gonna watch it. Yeah, I'm gonna watch it. Yeah.
Well, maybe I most likely am not gonna watch it because
no, we're not. We're gonna be at Jojo Diaz's fight. Yeah, watch it. Yeah.
Impala says Chavez Jr. is a druggie. Yeah, that he is while he walks around with his hot pink Speedos on. Hey, I know what I saw, Holmes, and I didn't like it. We will not be watching that fight live, at least, because Los Tres Chingones Boxing, we will be at the Jojo Diaz versus William Zepeda fight October 29th in San Diego at the Pachanga Arena. David, before we get out of here, talk to us about that fight, man. What's your thoughts on that?
I'm telling you, I'm flying down to watch that fight. To me, that is probably going to be maybe a contender for the fight of the year. It's going to be a great fight. A great fight. If you're a boxing fan and you're watching today's show, save your money, go see that fight. It's in San Diego. It's going to be an outstanding fight. And you know what? I got William Zepeda. I like Jojo Diaz. I like him. But I got Zepeda winning that fight. And I would like to see Zepeda, once he wins that fight, or Jojo Diaz, whoever wins that fight, I want to see him fight Shakur Stevenson at 135. That's going to be the second fight that I want to watch. But it's going to be a great fight. I'm looking forward to it. Hey, how you doing, Vanessa?
What's up, Vanessa? She's one of our chingonas here, man. You gentlemen have a great night. You too, Vanessa. Yeah, that's gonna be a really good fight. I can't wait. I can't wait. Jojo Diaz, he's got some skills, but his skill set is not there to take him to that elite level.
Yeah.
He's got the corazon.
Yes.
That he does. He's got the heart. That vato's a straight warrior. And I want that to be acknowledged.
Yes.
As far as his boxing skills, he has boxing skills, but not those type of boxing skills. You know, he's not the guy that's gonna make it to the very top. I got respect for the vato, man. He's from El Monte. El Monte is a very proud, old school kind of barrio. And I think he's going to bring it. Zepeda, on the other hand, there's only going up for him.
Oh, yeah. He's a real deal. He's a real deal. Yeah.
Yeah, that vato's just on his way up. Yeah. And I do have Zepeda winning as well. But it's not going to be easy. I think Jojo's really going to take him to the ringer. Jojo's really going to make him work for that victory. And damn, I'm expecting a great fight, man. I can't wait to be there, David.
It's gonna be a blood fest. There's gonna be blood everywhere. It's gonna be one of those. It's gonna be a blood fest. Mark my words.
Oh man, and we're gonna be there to witness it too, man. I can't wait for that, man. That's gonna be great. That's gonna be one of those where it's like, this is why I love boxing.
Exactly.
This is why I love boxing. Zepeda, you're saying Shakur Stevenson. I know Shakur kind of dropped the level after you saw his last performance. To me, not so much. I still think he is on his way to being elite. You know, Lomachenko fights that night too. Not on that card.
No, he
Not on
fights
that card,
in New
but
York. Yeah.
he does fight that night.
Uh-huh.
So you know what? Let me go ahead and read off what's going on October 29th. That day is just stacked, man. So yeah, you got the Jake Paul Anderson Silva fight, the Jojo Diaz versus Apeda, the Lomachenko versus Ortiz. Yeah. Karen Elizabeth versus Katie Taylor. Man, that is one heck of a date for boxing aficionados, man. And yeah, it's gonna be great. We'll be at one of those fights, so I can't wait for that one. As of right now, David, there is no undercard that I can see for the Jojo Diaz versus Apeda.
Let me see.
I can't find undercard quite yet, but
Yeah, I
I
got it right here. Alexis Rocha.
oh yeah,
He's fighting Jesus Perez, Leonela Yudica. Two females, don't know who they are.
mm,
Hector Valles, Ornelas, Jorge Chavez. I don't recognize a lot of these names. Alexis Rocha is going to be a good fight.
yeah.
And whenever he fights, and Joseph Diaz, the rest I don't recognize them. But it's going to be a good fight. Good fight night.
Yeah, yeah. I know we'll talk about it more in depth as we get closer to
Yeah.
the fight. Do you think Zapata stops him?
Yes. It's going to be a TKO because he's going to cut him up so bad he's not going to be able to see.
Yeah.
They're both going to be cut up pretty bad, but I think that they're going to stop the fight. The ref is going to stop the fight.
Yeah, I don't think Jojo Diaz quits, and I don't think he
No,
gets knocked
he-
out. I think
no,
Zapata just puts it to him where either
just
the
can't see.
referee or the
Yeah.
corner throws in the towel or the doctor. But
Yes.
yeah, definitely. But with that, anything else, David, before we get out of here, brother?
Hey, brother, before I forget, last night we had El Campeón Israel Vasquez,
Yes.
and right away he sent me a message that he's going to try to get us Chocolatito's trainer, Marcos Caballero, and he sent me his number, so I'm going to reach out to him. We're going to try to get him to come on our Spanish show. I'll let you know
Oh, I
when.
gotta be there.
Oh, dude, Chocolatito's trainer.
I gotta
So
be there.
we're working on that. I'll let you know. I'm going to call him tomorrow too to find
Oh,
out.
I gotta be there.
Yeah.
Quick prediction. I know we'll get more in depth to it. Quick prediction. Chocolatito or Estrada, número tres. Who takes
I
it?
got Chocolatito winning it. The only reason why, because Estrada took a beating a couple of weeks ago. He took a beating. I mean, it wasn't an easy fight.
No.
That's the only reason why. But it's going to be a slugfest. It's going to be a great fight, outstanding fight.
If it wasn't for that fight, who would you have taken?
I got Estrada.
Really?
Oh yeah, I like Estrada
Okay.
a lot. Estrada, he's a real deal. I mean, 50-50, brother. I mean, I'm guessing, to be honest with you, because you know what? That's a 50-50 fight. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah. It's hard.
I got Chocolatito on that one with
Yeah.
and without that last Estrada
Yeah.
fight. I still got Chocolatito, man. I think this is his last hurrah. I think the Vato, he's 35 or something like that. I think this is his last hurrah, and I think he's gonna go out with a bang, man. He's not gonna let Estrada take this one. But we'll definitely get more in depth in that, man. With that, chingones and chingonas again. David, you gonna jump on tomorrow or
No. You know what? Tomorrow
you're
I'm moving to
moving?
Sarasota. Hey, but I was going to tell you, take my number. I have a lot of contacts there in Ensenada, La Municipal, también Ministerial, especially the Ministerial. I have a lot of friends there. So if anything happens, give me a call. I can make some calls for you. I know a lot of the Ministeriales there, so whatever you need, give me a call. Take my number
You
in
see,
Ensenada.
this is
Yeah,
what I hope everybody's watching. See, I know people that know people.
that's right.
So, hey, chingones, I'm gonna be on a cruise. I leave tomorrow morning down to Ensenada. Hopefully, we are in Ensenada Saturday night, so I could watch the. If not, I'll watch it on the ship. The Pandora versus Acampo fight. because Acampo's from Ensenada, so I would love to be in Ensenada, man. Oh,
Yeah.
that would be awesome. But if not, then I'll go ahead and watch it on the ship. But we are gonna make our way to Ensenada at one point or another. But you guys enjoy the fight, whatever you guys do. And I will try to drop some content right here on Los Tres Chingones Boxing before the fight, whether I'm in Ensenada or whether I'm on the ship, on the cruise ship still. I'm going to try to drop a little bit of content. I don't know if I could go live. I don't know if the footage is going to be good or not, but I'll try to drop a video or two just to show you guys where and how I'm watching the fight. So, yeah, just so you guys can see that this Chingon's having a great time. Hey, with that, hey, chingones, chingonas, you guys have a great weekend. Whatever you guys do this weekend, be safe doing it so we can come back and do it again. Enjoy the fights. David Contreras, that is my brother. Total Trucker. We'll catch you guys on the next round. Hola, pues.